When you hear a sports drink, what is the first thing that comes to mind? For most of you, I would assume Gatorade.
Gatorade is the leading sports drink for the NFL, the MLB, the MLS, NBA, and PGA.
Left of the fourth. Miami leads by 2.
The G series is comprised of Prime, Perform, Recover. Prime is a drink or energy chew you take before the game. It is a combination of carbohydrates and B vitamins to provide energy. Perform is a drink that has electrolytes and carbohydrates and claims to hydrate better than water. Recover is taken after your game and gives your muscles the proteins and carbohydrates needed to start recovering.
Gatorade was invented when the University of Florida assistant coach noticed players were being affected by the heat and heat-related illnesses. Researchers discovered 2 key factors that were causing the players to wilt. 1, the fluids and electrolytes players lost through sweating was not being replaced, and 2, the large amounts of carbohydrates the players' bodies used for energy were not being replaced.
This is where healthy nutrition becomes a vital aspect of an athlete's lifestyle. The average student-athlete practices 20 hours a week, so having enough physical and mental energy to practice is important.
Gatorade. That's G.
Our focus is on Gatorade Prime Chews and how they can increase athletes' performances and provide adequate energy.
The Prime emphasizes having carbohydrates and B vitamins for energy. But what exactly are the B vitamins and how do they and carbohydrates metabolize in our body to essentially provide us energy? Prime Energy Chews contain 20% of vitamin B5. Vitamin B5 is also known as pantothenic acid. Pantothenic acid is important because it becomes coenzyme A, a molecule which activates other molecules so that they may enter a reaction. The active form of coenzyme A is acetyl-CoA. This is needed for the electron transport chain and final oxidation of nutrients to energy. Research done by Gibson in 2011 on the nutrition status of junior elite Canadian female soccer athletes observed that the women were not meeting the dietary reference intakes for pantothenic acid. Gibson concluded that suboptimal nutrition status can affect soccer performance and physiological growth and development. Another function of pantothenic acid is it helps reduce fatigue in athletes and prolongs ability to undergo physical stress.
What is your name?
My name is Jessica Mandridge.
And what sport do you play?
I play on the women's soccer team.
Does your team use Gatorade Prime Energy Chews?
Yes, we are handing them out every game.
What do you think is actually in the chews?
I'm not really sure. My guess is that they have a lot of sugar. They're probably not the healthiest thing to be eating all the time, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure what they're exactly made of.
Would you take them if they were a brand less well known than Gatorade?
Probably not, just because I think the reason why we feel so comfortable taking them is because our athletic trainer gives us the Gatorade shoes, and I feel like if they were another brand, we probably wouldn't be given them.
How do they make you feel before going into a game?
Personally, I'm not sure how much they work, but I'd rather chew those instead of drinking a cup of coffee or taking like a 5-hour energy. I think it's probably the safest way to go, looking for energy before the game.
There is 20% of your daily value of vitamin B6 in the Gatorade Prime Chews. Vitamin B6 refers to all biologically active forms. Athletes generally take in enough of them unless they have low energy intakes or poor nutrition. B6 vitamins are important for athletic performance because they are needed for gluconeogenesis and for glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis is the process that breaks down glycogen stores from the liver and muscle cells into glucose for immediate energy. It also plays an important role in regulating blood glucose levels in the fight-or-flight response. Gluconeogenesis also serves to regulate glucose levels in the blood and keep them from dropping too low. It is a process mainly in the liver that forms glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, such as amino acids and the glycerol portion of fat. Gatorade Prime Chews have 20% of your daily niacin value. Niacin refers to two compounds, nicotinic acid and nicotinamide. It is an important value for athletic performance. The majority of athletes consume an adequate supply of niacin. However, restricted food intake can lead to low levels of the vitamin. Niacin has been shown to have effects on fatty acid use and their indirect effect on accelerating depletion of glycogen stores and performance measures. Ingestion of nicotinic acid just prior to exercise decreased circulating free fatty acid concentration and increased the respiratory exchange ratio, ultimately showing a reduction in fatty acid use. Instead, more glycogen stores and glucose, which is found in the Gatorade Prime Chews, can be utilized. Niacin is important in helping the body convert food to energy, supporting the absorption of calcium, helping in oxidative metabolism, and working in the electron transport chain.
What's your name?
I'm Sarah Small.
What sport do you play?
I play women's soccer.
Do you eat Gatorade Chews?
I have, yes.
Do you even know what they do?
They're supposedly supposed to give you energy.
Yes. And do you feel a difference when you eat them versus when you don't?
Not at all. I think it's very mental.
Thank you. Exercise performance is greatly influenced by nutrition, and a key factor seems to be carbohydrates. The recommended consumption ranges from 6 to 10 grams depending on body weight, gender, physical fitness, total training load, energy expenditure, type of physical activity, and environment. Athletes seem to benefit from 200 to 300 grams of carbs consumed 3 to 4 hours before the athletic event. During exercise, athletes should consume 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour in order to maintain blood glucose levels. After exercise, athletes should consume 1 to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight during the first 30 minutes, and again every 2 hours for 4 to 6 hours in order to replace liver and muscle glycogen stores. Athletes benefit from carb storage in the body because in early stages of moderate exercise, they provide 40 to 50% of the energy. Carbohydrates yield more energy per unit of oxygen consumed than fats. During digestion, the body breaks down carbohydrates to glucose and stores it in the muscles as glycogen. During exercise, glycogen is converted back to glucose and uses energy. The body stores a limited amount of carbs in the muscles and the liver. For events that require more than 90 minutes of work, a high-carb diet for 2 to 3 days before the event allows glycogen storage spaces to be filled. Long-distance runners, cyclists, cross-country skiers, canoe racers, swimmers, and soccer players report benefits from a pre-competition diet where 70% is carbs. Carbs are essential to maintain blood glucose levels and maximize glycogen stores.
One more! Let's go, yo! One more! One more time! Come on! One more! Let's get it! Let's go!
Proven hydration to help replace what you sweat out.
One championship! Let's go! Inside. Throw your hands up, pitch frisk with pride. Hold your head high, no need to hide. E-V-O-L-V-E. Come on, get inside, come on, ride with me. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. Gotta evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve. If you want a revolution, the only solution, evolve.
Pantothenic acid, vitamin B6, niacin, and carbohydrates are all important for reaching peak performance as an athlete. They can be obtained through supplements, foods, or Gatorade Prime Chews. It doesn't matter how you consume the necessary carbohydrates and B vitamins before performance, as long as you consume the proper intake. The Gatorade Prime Chews can also provide a positive psychological effect for athletes as well as nutritional.